everybody, this is Dee. Yeah, I'm wearing the same shirt. I've been batch recording stuff. So you probably see me for the next 2 or 3 videos with the same shirt on. So what? I take a bath. Anyways, I wanted to show you, I'm going to try to do this without crying. I wanted to show you what Patricia Walker has been working on for me. Going through my mom, as you guys know, my mom passed away about 1.5 years ago, and going through my mom's stuff, I found a quilt that she was making for me, a quilt she was making for herself, a quilt my aunt made for me before she passed away, and my grandma's sunbonnet Sue, where she embroidered on it. Quilts, but none of them had been quilted. It was just the quilt tops. And I asked Patricia Walker if she would quilt them for me, and I'll pay her whatever, And she said yes, she would. And so, nervous wreck, I put them all in a box and sent them. And I thought, if this gets lost in the mail or they damage this, I'm going to have a heart attack. Well, everything made it fine. She called me the minute it got delivered. Everything made it fine. And she's been working on these nonstop for me, guys. I mean, she's on like the 3rd or 4th one at this point. But I wanted to show you, first of all, before I show you this one, I want to give you a little backstory on it. Okay, first of all, my grandma, my great-grandma, my mom, all of them were quilters. And when I was in elementary school, on my lunch, I would go to my grandma's house, and I would thread a bunch of embroidery thread and regular thread on needles and stick them in her lampshade next to her chair where she would sit and do her quilting. She did everything by hand, and then as she got older, she did use her treadle machine. And so, a lot of it's hand-done, a lot of it's treadle. And these particular squares were done in her later years. So they're not as professional as she used to be, which makes them even more precious to me. But anyways, so I had threaded all the needles for the embroidery thread and everything that is on this quilt when I was in elementary school. So this is, I'm going to try not cry, this is super special to me, and Patricia Walker knocked it out of the park. Okay, let me show you guys. This is Sunbonnet Sue. And see the embroidery, like the backgrounds and all of that. It's only 2 squares wide, but it's probably 4 foot across. And then there's this one where he's got a teddy bear, or she's got a teddy bear and flowers, and she's walking down the street, and then this one is the last one where my grandma embroidered with the needles that I had threaded and put in her lampshade. And I finally got the quilt done from my grandma. That means the absolute world to me. Okay, this next one is super special too. This one my mom made me. And I'll tell you a quick story. I had an uncle named Alan. He was in the Air Force for 4 years, and then he went to the Navy. When he got out of the Navy, he was working for a company, or a government agency called NOAA. And he was a scientist. He would go out on little tugboats and check water and all that kind of stuff. And he was in charge of the zebra mussels that were coming in and affecting the Great Lakes around Michigan. And me and him he was always, my buddy. And me and him had made plans to go on a hot air balloon ride. And we had it all worked out. We were going to go. And he suddenly passed away from a heart attack. And I have hot air balloons tattooed on my back for my uncle. And one day I'm going to go on a hot air balloon, and I'm going to spread some of his ashes, but we're going to keep that between us. Anyways, so my mom was making me a quilt with hot air balloons on it because she knew how much that meant to me. And she also put a little tag note and I'll read that to you as well. But Patricia Walker is the one who quilted this for me, and I'm doing good. I'm not crying. Okay. All right, this one is big, so I'm probably going to have to stand in the background to show it to you. I believe this is probably a queen size. Okay. So see the hot air balloons? And then this fabric is like clouds. I'll come up closer after I show you. But this is like a queen size hot air balloon quilt. This is upside down. Okay. All right, so let me get close enough to show you. Okay. I can't show you everything on it because it's kind of big, but here's one of the hot air balloons. And see the basket down below? And then this is the hot air balloon, and it's in the clouds. And Patricia Walker, like, look at the, can you see the stitches that she put on there? And she put special stuff on the baskets. Like, let me see if I can get one that you could see. I don't think so. But like one of them says Alan, one of them says Dee Dee, because that was my nickname growing up. You know, each one had something special to do with my uncle. This is the note from my mom, which I'm going to read. Okay, let's see if I can do it. Dee Dee. Little bits of fabric sewn into a quilt from a warm and loving blanket from which memories are built. And when you seek peace and comfort in the quiet of the night, it will keep you warm and snug until the morning light. And then she writes on the bottom, because I love you, Mom. Can you see? Because I love you, Mom. It's pretty awesome, huh? Anyways, I wanted to show you those quilts. And thank Patricia Walker for everything she's doing for me. Like I said, right now she's working. I believe she's working on my mom's. It's called My Favorite Things. And it's got, like, you know, pictures of birds and turtles and stuff my mom liked. And it's like a cabin, log cabin blanket kind of, you know, with the little strips. And she's working on that. And then I think there's the great big giant king size one that my aunt made for me out of hippy dippy fabric. And she's going to be doing that one. And then I sent her a whole bunch of those Sunbonnet Sue squares. And then also the little boy. I don't remember his name. But he has jeans on with a pocket. And you see the back of him. He's got like a farmer's hat on. Well, I sent her a bunch of those, and we're kind of brainstorming on what to do with those. But yeah, those ones I don't think have a lot of embroidery on it, but this one did. And so my grandma's quilt's finally put together, and my mama's quilt to me for my Uncle Al is finally here. And I'm overwhelmed with gratitude. Thank you, Patricia. I love you so much. All right, guys. I love you. I'll see you next time.